Good morning, Coach Craig. Chess, anyone? So today I wanted to talk about paradoxes. And a paradox is one of these cases where you feel like there's a conflict, either internally in your mindset or somehow you are butting up against something with a lot of friction. And ultimately, what a paradox is, when we're thinking about our entrepreneurial life, it's when one way of viewing the world comes in conflict with another way of viewing the world. And that's why mindset shifts and transformations are so powerful, because they break paradoxes. And so oftentimes when you're in that mode as an entrepreneur where you're just like I feel trapped in the systems I created, and I don't want to do this anymore, and maybe I should just sell the business, or maybe I should just burn it down, like cut my losses and get out of here. If you're feeling trapped, it might be that you're sort of manufacturing a paradox in your own mind. And so the analogy that I give is this. And this came from Ben Bergeron. If you haven't checked out the Chasing Excellence podcast, it's fantastic. And so I learned this from Ben Bergeron. It's a great way to think about paradoxes. So imagine for a moment that you are trapped under ice, okay? And there's a steel grate in between you and open water. So you can see on the other side of the steel grate that there's no ice, and you can get up and you can breathe. And you're pushing against the ice and you can't get through. And the grate goes down, say 10 feet. And so in order to get up there, you have to go down around the gate, and then you've got, clear air ahead of you. So the paradox is, I want to go up, but in order to go up, I have to go down. And so it's these seemingly conflicting ideas that create lots of problems. And so we have to decide. And when we make that decision to go down, even though we want to go up, it will break the paradox, and it will get us into fresh air, right? And so these paradoxes are constantly appearing. They're constantly revealing themselves as we grow. And a life with no paradoxes and a life with no entrapment and no friction is a life with no growth. So fully accepting that this is just part of growth. It's part of the way that getting to the next level in your business works, that sometimes you're going to have paradoxes, and you have to first clearly acknowledge, oh, I'm trapped in a paradox. All right, let's find the solution to that puzzle. Sometimes we don't acknowledge that we're in a paradox, and that and that's because we haven't clarified exactly where this conflict is. And so the entrepreneurs that I work with are in this state where they're feeling like they've built these systems and they've mechanized the operations of their business well enough to be able to produce repetitive results, and yet they're not enjoying their craft anymore. They're not enjoying the process. And so what I help to do is to widen the options, to get you out of that binary mindset where you're thinking, oh my God, either I stay entrapped and encaged in this particular way of doing things, or I get out of it. And by get out of it, that can be sell the business, just dismantle the business, or whatever, some way to just get out of that entrapped sensation. But there are other ways. and widening your options is the first way that you get clarity. So I hope this is helpful in thinking about paradoxes as a normal part of the process and learning to acknowledge and recognize when you are in a paradox. Coach Craig out.